today's daily live day trading lesson, and we are going to be discussing taking a short into a highly protected technical resistance level. We're also going to talk about holiday markets and traps and this and that. We got a lot to go over here this evening, so let me dive into the charts. And if you take a look, there is one hell of a sunset going on right now. Oh man, it is gorgeous here, let me tell you. But that is a side note. One sec. Okay, so now that we are into the charts, let's take a look at SPY. SPY is what we traded here this morning. And what was really nice, if you take a look at the daily chart, and this is why this is so important to tonight's lesson. It is so crucial to a retail day trader's success to have that daily chart next to your intraday chart as you are trading, not flipping back and forth between time frames, but having it up right on your charts. It's so important. That way you're able to see the daily chart moving averages, the way it's moving in between those moving averages. It's going to be stuff that you will absolutely miss if you don't do that. So what we had here was we were opening up very slightly in underneath the previous close and the 50 SMA. Now, what you're not going to see is also there is a trend level that is right in and around the previous close, and it's a major trend if you work back the daily chart here on SPY. So there was three major resistance levels, plus there's also some extras. There's the previous open, as well as some volume zones coming back in here from a previous range. You're super protected in that trade. Not to mention above, now you have the 5 EMA and the 9 EMA above. Now, mind you, those moving averages, the 5 and the 9, were outside of risk parameters and tolerance. But regardless, you're protected in that trade. So what it's going to want to do, it's all about natural movement. Natural movement theory is proprietary to Tricktrades. This is something that I've thought about. It's my methodology, my mindset, the technicals. There's a lot going on with it. But ultimately, what it is it's about protection and the way that these move. So the natural movement, the way this is going to want to naturally move is because it's closer into that major resistance level. It's going to test that resistance level and find a lower support level before it can come up. So again, it's going to test that close resistance level, fall back to a lower support, and then have the ability to move up. It doesn't mean it will move up. It just means it has the potential to move up, but it needs to come down first. And the word need is really important. That's how these, see, everybody has this belief that the market is erratic and irrational and everything else. It isn't. It's actually extremely rational when you understand the language of the chart. So with that said, when the market opened up, it pushed into the previous close. It did go higher, but that's okay. There was also that 50 SMA on the daily just above. So it's trading within that range. It's a very tight range, but the range is there. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit further just to kind of show you. Now, this was also a highly deceptive chart when it comes to its range. From here, from highs, back down into the previous close, and even that little bit lower where that trend level was, it doesn't look like much. If you had to guess, just looking from here to here, what would you say that range would be? 30 cents maximum? It doesn't look like much. But if you take a look from those highs down to that level, it's over 1 point, which when you're day trading options, the way we trade them at Tricktrades, it's more than enough. So the bulk of my position was peeled off in this area, and I'd already locked in thousands of dollars on it, and it wasn't even a big position. So initial trade, I got an add in there when it popped back up. So enter here, add, let it fall back, pay myself. When it pulls back, pushes back up to bump its head, that's where I added, and then so on. and an absolutely monster trade, locking in $7,169 in this supposedly little itty bitty trade. And that's how we do things here. Now, it's important also, one thing, when you're trading those tight ranges, like when you have that 50 SMA back down to the previous close, down to that trend, you have these three levels. Now, do you see how it pushes into that 50, pulls back to test, tries to bounce, bails below, retests, comes back down to test? I know, like, maybe some of you aren't going to follow that, and I don't have a lot of time to overly explain in these recaps because of people's um, uh, being able to focus on this sort of stuff, attention spans. But with that said, it trades within those ranges. Those ranges, that's all you need. And again, it is about being, especially in this market right now, we are in a holiday market. Holiday markets are generally very high retail trader volume and low institutional trader volume. So you're going to have a lot of manipulation and generally a lower volume market. Now, we ended up having slightly above average volume here today, which isn't overly surprising. It's the last day before the market gets really wonky with holiday movement. But it is so important to just be an incremental trader. It's not a scalper. Those are two very different things, man. Very different. This is about trading technicals, support and resistance, technical analysis 101, day trading shit 101, very strictly. And that's what it boils down to. And if you do that and you have the discipline to do that, the sky's the limit with your day trading, guys. You don't need to capture huge moves in the market. That's what everybody wants to do as a retail trader. It's all about the big play. Well, I've made a career on small plays, incremental trades. That's all I do. And I'm able to lock in a substantial amount every single day because I know and I trust myself that I have the discipline to only trade those tight ranges or from my entry to a target. And once you develop that discipline and you have the confidence and trust in yourself, that's when you can increase your size. That's why I'm able to trade the size that I trade with and not take any damage when the trade doesn't work. And when the trade does work, I make a substantial amount in a small, tight little range. And that's the secret to success, guys, as a day trader. So for those of you, we're coming into a new year. We're winding down this year. If you want to get your shit together and actually learn this upcoming year, starting now, how to become a professional day trader, if you're sick and tired of the bullshit of your 9 to 5, dealing with some boss that doesn't give a shit about you, and you want to provide for your family, not only with financially, but with their freedom as well, come to tricktrades.com. We'll get you all set up. Adios, folks.